Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode. Oh, fucking hell. Of the Lines. Sorry, I was a little distracted. Anyway, last episode we did the minor quest line for Stormblood. And today we're gonna go and do the botanist quest line. Ah, Lynn, nice to see you once again. There's actually something I had been meaning to ask. Are you familiar with a place named Idyllshire? My last quest was literally there. Are you gonna send me there again? A town where man and goblin coexist in harmony, you say? Fascinating. I ask because we have just received a request from someone there for our services, and I've been at a loss as to whether or not to accept it. However, your words have cleared any fragment of doubt that once dwelled in my mind. You may have heard that those articles in the Raven inspired a great number of would-be botanists to take up the hatchet. While I am grateful for their help, I have had little cause to do any work myself, and I do worry I may have become rusty as a result. Lynn, would it trouble you to accompany me on this job? You handled your previous work in the ffXIV with dedication, and I would certainly feel much more assured working in unfamiliar territory with you by my side. What say you? Just in the corner of my eye, there's somebody just stripping naked. You have my thanks, Lynn. My anxiety has given way to boundless excitement. It has been quite some time since I had the chance to study a new area's flora. Let us make our way to Idyllshire. The appeal for aid came from a lady named ffXIV. She bid we visit her at Green Grub mud plots, should we be willing to help. Hello. Well met, I'm assuming you were sent by the Botanist Guild? Wait, you wouldn't happen to be Lynn there, would you? By the 12th, it is you! I've read all about how you valiantly defied the Holy See, proving that Giselle Greens, thought to be native to Ishgard, actually hail from the Near East. Ah, the old thing they're just recalling your bravery. You're truly an inspiration. To botanist the realm over, Lynn. Oh, how lucky I am that Nofika should see fit to bless me with this, the most precious moment of my life. My apologies, this is all just so emotional. Can't believe any of this is truly happening. Perhaps if I were to get your signature, I would have proof that... Oh no, snap out of it, Edkith. Remember what happened the last time you were overly forward? Now, where was I? Ah, yes, thanking you for the journey. I must admit, I have been expecting a party of two. I see. Admittedly a rather orthodox approach, but the botanist technique stands up to close inspection. And it's precisely this fact that has me perplexed. Based on this evidence, I would say the botanist looking after this area has as good an understanding of nature as anyone in our guild. Why should they want for our help? Oh, hello, I didn't see you there. Would you happen to be a friend of Lynn's? I was thrilled to meet you, to address your query. Our problem here has more to do with quantity than quality. Quantity? Considering Idylshire's size, I would not imagine you should struggle to meet demands as things currently stand. Ah, no, that's not quite what I meant. As you say, there's more than enough here to supply Idyllshire. The real issue is that we wish to branch out and trade with other cities. Suppose it actually concerns both quantity and quality, now that I think on it. You see, I created green grub mud plots using the seeds of specially cultivated crops made by Staudian botanists, but there's only so much an absolute novice such as myself can achieve. I'm clueless as to how I can better the quality of these crops. I hate the fact that I have to deal with these. I guess I shouldn't have given her such a high-pitched voice. While I do understand your plight, I would be less inclined to refer to the creator of the mudplots as an absolute novice. Do you not think you are being somewhat overly humble? Not at all. I'm self-taught after all. How could I be anything but a novice when I was taught by one? Sorry. My work could never compare to that of the officially recognized botanists such as yourself. I've been attempting to cultivate a new kind of crop that could be used for trade, but alas, I'm as green as the mudplots themselves. Nothing I try seems to succeed. And that is why you sought our help. Well, I for one am most inclined to grant you our aid. What say you then? Are you of a similar mind? Yes. Are you sure you're not taking pity on me, are you? Frankly, even if you are, I shall accept it. Thank you both so much. This brings to mind that time we both found ourselves in curses, does it not? As I've always said, the botanist's calling is not to control the nature, but rather to accept and nurture it, so that we may mutually benefit from one another. I must say, it has been quite some time since anything has had me this eager. I've already collected a sample of the soil here, and should quite like to take it back to the guild. It's time I set about formulating a plan of action. Yep. Knowing I can count on the guild's help is a great comfort, although I would like to know, just who was your knowledgeable companion? You know, the guild master. Oh, what? The first botanist herself, ffXIV. Good heavens, to think she would ever see fit to even lend an ear to my petty problems. I'm not worthy. Good lord. My apologies. I have a habit of getting caught up in the moment. Caught up in my own little world sometimes. At any rate, with you two on my side, I cannot see how we could possibly fail. And if we somehow do, it will undoubtedly be entirely my fault. Actually, before you go, would you mind if I ask you something else? Are you the same adventurer that helped the treasure hunters gain access to St. Macian's Arboretum? I knew it! Sonny himself regaled me with stories of your bravery. You have my sincerest thanks. Without your help, we could never have created the mud plots. It's noticeably improved the food supply situation in Idyllshire. Sonny really sums up our gratitude best when he refers to you as Saint Lynn. It's just a shame I'm so bloody useless, really. Never stood a chance of cultivating anything worthwhile with just me involved. Well, I suppose that's everything for now. I've decided to wait for word from ffXIV instead of making any rash decisions of my own. Okay, this woman needs some confidence in her life. Then, I have at long last received word from ffXIV. Just uttering her name gives me such joy. But this is hardly a time or place for me to be longing for her exquisite company. That's what every other waking moment is for. No, we need to head to Gridania so that we may actually enjoy her have her brief us on how best to proceed. Although, as this is my first trip to Gridania, I was wondering if it wouldn't be too much trouble to have you show me around. Good lords. Thank you, Lynn. You're just as courteous as the articles make you sound. I shall see you in Gridania shortly then. Where's the ffXIV? Right. Edgis. That lovely scent in the air, lush greenery, this truly is the spiritual home of botany. I wonder if there isn't some way I could stay here more permanently. There I go, daydreaming again. Honestly, I had a gift. Let us make our way to the guild. Making my way to the guild in the freaking place and become a Yes, content. I am a content creator. I'm somewhat of a content creator myself. Yes. ffXIV. Let us get to the heart of the matter. I suggest that we cultivate a new species of popoto. Popoto? You mean the root vegetable used in soup and pancakes? The very same. While the Dravanian hinterlands enjoy more sunlight than most regions, the soil is far from fertile. The area's mountainous terrain and cold climates can also hardly be considered favorable. What in the hell? How in the heck? What is this word? Succinctly, I guess, put, it is not especially hospitable from a botanic point of view, and it should come as no surprise that any crops planted there would be lacking in quality. However, that is precisely why I propose we put our faith in the sturdy popoto. But do you not think we would struggle to sell regular popotos? They're so ubiquitous in Eorzea, I can't imagine who would be interested in one grown in Dravania. That would be true if we planned to simply grow the common popoto. However, through selective breeding, we shall give birth to one that is unique to Dravania, one that will come to represent the region. Then I would like you to gather some wild popotos for me. We shall plant these in the mud plots and crossbreed them. By improving upon popotos that have already been able to grow in harsh conditions, we might be able to produce one of the toughest root vegetables known to man. You have my thanks. I suggest you try searching East End. The area was famed for its potato production once upon a time. The settlement there that used to cultivate the vegetables may be long gone, but I imagine there should still be a few popotos growing in the area. You certainly stand a much higher chance of finding wild popotos there than you would aimlessly wandering around. And I shall accompany you, Lynn. I may not be able to help much with harvesting popotos, but I'm sure I could be of some use. Perhaps I could clean your boots every now and then. I do not see the harm in Edgith tagging along. It may even turn out to be quite a learning experience for her. East End is a relatively peaceful area, but I shall let the Order of Twin Adder know you're coming as a precaution. Well, then it's settled. I shall go on ahead to scout the area for you. Baba Booey. East End. We gotta go to the East End. The Fringes. It's one of the best songs in the game. At least for me, in any case. 'Tis but my humble opinion, of course. Yes. Hello. Ah, Lynn, there you are. I heard from one of the soldiers that this is the area where popotos used to be grown. Fufusha told me that we should aim to bring back 20 of them. That should be more than enough. Oh, and don't worry about lugging them back to Idyllshire. That's my job. This way. Oh boy. That's a yawn. Oh. Wild popotos. These popotos make me wild. Okay. Fall mud. Fall to the floor. I will show. Never see it clear. I could have it all if only you were here. Bork, bork, I am a dog. Bow down to your dog. There should be somewhere around here. Let me know once you've managed to get 20. Allowed to grow unchecked in the wild, it only took a matter of generations for this transplant from the New World to become decidedly different than its farm-grown cousins. You've finished? I wonder what it's like to be so skilled. Must be nice. I may be an inadequate botanist, but I would like to believe I have it in me to pull 20 popotas as far as the mud plots. I'll make sure to assist Fufusha in preparing them to be replanted as soon as I arrive. Goodbye. As I get stuck on a couple of rocks. Brokey! Hello. Your timing is uncanny. We just finished our preparations not a moment ago. Now begins the hard work. That was incredible, the finesse with which you planted each individual potato. Now I know just why Fufusha speaks so highly of you. If I could be even half as good as you, I'd die a happy botanist. And there's no better opportunity for me to improve than now, with first-rate botanist mentoring me. Speaking of which, Fufusha has graciously agreed to help me crossbreed our popotos and plant the resulting seeds. Truly, your loveliness knows no bounds. I look forward to seeing you again once our work is done. Why? Give me the money. Lynn, the popotas are coming along very nicely. However, we're not quite there just yet. Fufusha has sent word asking us to visit the guild to discuss crossbreeding in further detail. Do you have the time to accompany me there once more? Fantastic, let's rendezvous in front of the guild as usual. I'm keen to try making my own way there this time. Making my way to the botanist guild. I've literally just made that joke. Okay, now why in the heck is this happening over here? I do not know why. I don't understand, man. I am confusion. Why are you bullying me? Nice to see you both got my message. The wild papyrus you collected for me have taken quite well and work is progressing at a healthy pace. However, while I have succeeded in harnessing the wild specimen's hardiness, I have been unable to incorporate any element that would set our papyrus apart from the rest. I believe in you, ffXIV. If anyone is capable of making a success of this, it's you. Thank you for your faith, Edgith. It is most touching. As it happens, I do indeed have an idea. I have heard stories of a Popoto species known as Walker's Popoto that was once cultivated upon the island of Vilbrand. It is said to be a variety that retains its shape when boiled, making it perfect for stews. Crossbreeding our existing Popotas with this variety may well give us that special something we need to make ours stand out. Say no more, then and I shall gather all the Walker Popotas you need. You catch on quick, Edgith. From what I understand, they used to be grown at the Red Rooster Stead. Try asking around there and see if someone cannot point you in the right direction. Asking people questions is one of the few things I'm good at. Let's go, then. I have a good feeling about this. The Red Rooster Stead. Of course, it's that fucking hellhole. Actually, wait, I have another idea. I've got an even better plan. I hope you are prepared for my master plan. So, I am going to go to the residential district. Just go to some random residential district, yes. That will end me up in the mist, and then I just turn around and run out of this place. Leave residential district, and that should leave me right next to the Red Rooster Stead. Yes. Aurora Borealis. Anyway. Whenever I say yes, I have to think of that. Oh, yes, Walker's Papodos. We were always shipping them off to the Far East. Those Hinkins go mad for a good Walker's Papodo. We haven't grown any for quite some time, but it wouldn't surprise me if someone over there had gotten tired of waiting for us to resume growing them and started cultivating their own. Walker's Papodos, that's a name I've not heard in a while. I'm afraid you're far too late. We haven't cultivated those since the Calamity. Cannot say I missed them either. They were so susceptible to both disease and the cold. It was always an uphill battle. You won't find any in storage either, in case you were getting your hopes up. We threw the last of them out long ago. I've never heard of anyone else volunteering to grow them since. Sorry, I couldn't be of any help. Oh, hello there, Lynn. My apologies, I wasn't much good at gathering information after all. Suppose that's one more thing we can add to the list of jobs I can be trusted with. What's that? There's a chance we may find Walker's Papodos in the Far East? Well then, the best of luck on your journey to Gugane. I know I really ought to accompany you, but visiting Gridani alone was enough to put my head in a spin. I'm not sure I could handle an entirely different continent. It also wouldn't do for me to leave my darling plants on their own for such a long time. But do not fear, I will see to it that everything is in place for you to plant the Papodos upon your triumphant return. Right. Gugane. Gugane, Gugane. Gugage. Why are you gay? The internet is full of so many wondrous memes. And a lot of bad stuff too, unfortunately. Walker's Papodos. I cannot say I've ever sold them in my shop. I do feel I may have heard of them being grown in Asari on the mainland, mind you. Might be worth your while to paying the village a visit. Walker's Papodos. A tastier Papoto I've never stocked. In fact, I'm completely out of them right now as it happens. Not seen my supplier for quite some time. Fairly certain his name was Hikinami. I lost contact with him when things began to get a little rough in the Ruby Sea. Right. To Isari. Fucking really? I was thinking for a second, like, I know Isari. It's not too difficult to get to. And then I'm like, wait. Sorry, is the fishing town. No. Also, this manta exists, so yeah, I may have. I think the correct word is splurging. I splurged a lot in this month, which is why I cannot afford to buy a new monitor. That's fine, it still works. It just has, you know, gets a little quirky at times. It gets quirky at night. Hello. Yes, I'm Hikinami. I used to cultivate walker's papotas a little to the north of the village, but that came to an end when my workers declined in number and there were not enough hands to help with the harvest. I've long since handed the fields back to the nature. If you are in luck, there may still be some growing in the field in that same area. No longer have any use for them. Feel free to take anything you find. Right. So I guess this would be where I can find them. Yep. Yeppers, cumin seeds. I see. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. Music is still very nice. Kill the messenger. Kill. Cool. Cool. Right. Back to Idyllshire. As I do another stretch. You'll love to do it. Look at this sheep. What a sheepish fellow. Hello. Lynn, delighted to see you have returned safe and sound. Was the spinner on your side? A variety of popoto bred by a botanist named Walker to withstand the harsh winds and rocky soil of southern Danosh. So this is the much sought after Walker's popoto. Ah yes, upon closer inspection it certainly has a different hue compared to the common popoto. Well then, all that remains is to replant them. Yes. Come my lady, come, come my lady. You're my butterfly, sugar baby. That hardly took any time at all, and you pretty much did it all by yourself. Should be beginning to wonder if I shouldn't just entrust the mud plots to your much more capable hands then. Looks like you're enjoying yourself, Edgith. Sani? That's to do with the afro, right? Yeah. Sani, whatever brings you here? Well, you know, I thought it'd be good for me to check on how things are going from time to time. I'm no good with a hatchet, that's for sure, but I'm your boss in name, at least. Ah, Lynn, it's been too long. Hope you like what we did with the treasure. Must say, though, never dreamed you'd turn out to be a first-rate botanist. Makes me wonder what other secrets you're hiding from us. I suppose you'd happen to be a first-rate culinarian, would you? Speaking of which, how are things coming along? Quite well. Entirely thanks to Lynn here, admittedly, but, well, you know better than most how useless I am. Listen, Edgith, I've no problem with a bit of humility, but you're well on your way to beating your self-confidence to a bloody pulp. Have you already forgotten just who it was that created this place? But it's just look how crooked some of the plants are growing, and the leaves on a tree aren't as green as they should be. Honestly, when are you going to learn to stop being so harsh on yourself? Striving for improvement is one thing, but there's no point in comparing yourself to the best botanist in the bleeding realm. Sorry for all this. She might not belong to the botanist guild like you, but she's a lot better than she dares give herself credit for. I reckon she'd give guild veterans a good run for their money, even. Really appreciate it if you'd give her a little praise every now and then. Only when she's deserving of it, of course. Here's hoping that picks up her spirit up a bit. Oh, Sani, you truly is far too kind to me. All I ever wanted as a child was to someday be a botanist. I was ready to spend my every waking moment studying for that one goal. But it wasn't to be. My family died when I was still little, leaving me to fend for myself. It was all I could do to survive, and there was no room for dreams. It was then I was on the verge of giving up that I met Sonny. He gave my life some semblance of order amongst all the chaos. It allowed me to pick up the fragments of my dream and finally begin studying botany. Never thought that all that studying would actually serve a purpose someday. But that's enough about boring old me. Seeing Sonny again for the first time in a while brought back some memories of the past. Memories I'm sure you don't need to hear any more about. As for the work at hand, there's not a whole lot we can do until the crossbreeding is complete. I'm sure you must be tired from your travels to the Far East. By all means, have a rest and stop by again in the near future. Yes. Quest completed. Ah, then, I don't imagine you were expecting good news, considering my involvement, but I've once again managed to make a mess of everything. While the first generation of crossbreed potato plants successfully sprouted, every single one of them withered frighteningly fast. I imagine it's down to some kind of disease, but an amateur such as myself could never hope to identify such a thing. ffXIV has once again summoned us to the guild to discuss this latest development. I shall see you there. It's kind of tedious that, like, in this quest they're like, oh, always go back to Gridania, back to ffXIV. That's a little, meh. In my humble opinion. In fact, I have to go to Idyllshire, then to New Gridania to go and talk, and then somewhere else. For whatever you need. The White Death. Why do I know that? Why do I recognize that? Welcome back from your journey to the Far East, then. I assume Edgith has already informed you of our worrying predicament. I hypothesize that a first generation of crossbred prototypes have inherited the walker's unfortunate vulnerability to both diseases and pests. However, we are yet to pinpoint the exact cause as to why they have wilted so quickly. But how can it be? Was no one at the guild able to determine the cause of our plight? Much as it vexes me, this conundrum has bested all of us. We at the guild are fundamentally nothing more than observers of nature. It is a force all of its own. One that we try our best to understand, but cannot hope to harness, nor should we. However, that is not to say all is lost. I fully intend to devote all of the resources available to me in order to ascertain exactly what it is that hinders our progress so. I was also hoping I could count on your help, Lynn. A fresh pair of eyes may be exactly what is needed to get to the bottom of this mystery. That's a good idea, Lynn. Let's head back to the mud plots, and I shall do my best not to get in the way. And then, okay. Alright, so to the mud plots to talk to her, then to Gridania to talk to ffXIV, then back to the mud plots to talk to her again, then go and get the thing, and then go back to the mud plots to talk to her again. Okay. That is definitely a form of quest design. I mean, it's an MMO. What do you expect? But hey, what did you expect? You spy a faint white glint within the soil. On close inspection, you find a chalky stone. What is the matter? Was there something in the soil? Is something the matter, Lynn? Don't tell me you've discovered a problem. A strange stone-like object found at the green grip mud plots. Is this some kind of stone? No, that's not right. But surely ffXIV would have noticed this if it were so simple. Yes, I must be mistaken. There's no way an amateur such as myself could solve something that stumped the guild. Have some bloody confidence in yourself for one. Even ffXIV doesn't know everything. Now that I think of it, she said exactly the same thing herself, didn't she? Perhaps by the grace of Nemea, the fates have aligned to enable me to do something of use for once in my life. Ascertaining the identity of these chalky stones may well be the key to uncovering what's causing our Papotas to wither so quickly. However, we will first require a reagent. I know we've already had you do enough work for a lifetime, but would you be able to visit Stick Chick's buying pots for me? Hand this order to an alchemist there named Goldwax, and she should be able to give you what we need. In the meantime, I will head to the guild and ask ffXIV for her expert opinion regarding these stones. Okay. The White Death. Goldbox recognizes mining Uplander. Does Uplander not want to trade tank flaps with cheap stick chicks? An order addressed to Goldbox for a reagent. Uplander would have Goldbox crafty make reagent. First, Goldbox needs Uplander to bring seaweed, known as nanoriso. Gabby needs this for reagent. Bring Goldbox 20 clumps of nanoriso, and Gabby will crafty make the reagent. Uplander needs to visit the Far East. Nanoriso can only be found at the bottom of the Ruby Sea. Match to Ryzen Kaikyo. In the Ruby Sea. Ruby. No. Do you? Right, so Ryzen Kaiko. Dragon. Okay, so now I need to... Wait, that's... Actually, no, yeah. No, oh, okay, yeah, no, see it like this. I was thinking like, alright, now I need to go and get out my freaking spearfishing techniques. But no, that is entirely incorrect. I'm a botanist, not a fisher. Alright, Nanoriso. This is Amanoro. It's not a hidden item, right? No. Right, I need to get level 17 nodes. Yeah, Ryzen Kaiko is, I think, the entire, like, seabed over here. And this, like, the sea really isn't that deep, actually. Look at this kelp. Okay. Just a little more of this beautiful kelp. There we go. Forward and back, and forward and back, and then go forward and back. And one step forward. Bring Goldbox 20 grams of nanoriso and Gabby will craft and make the reagent. This light brown seaweed with spiked leaves is quite common in the seas of Engashi and collected and dried for use in cuisine. Find a nanoriso Goldbox has not seen. Gabby will start craft making of reagent right away. Reagent! Well, yawn. Whoopsie. Goldbox has used technique of both Uplanders and Gabbies to make reagent with fastness. Reagent is ready for Edkit. Hello again, then. Did everything go smoothly at the bank pots? A substance used to ascertain what is causing the Gobotos to wilt. Fantastic, now we can finally see if my silly little hypothesis holds true. Oh, you silly little hypothesis. I can't believe it. Did I do something wrong? How could something that came from my mind ever turn out to be correct? This is an intervention. See to have already begun your tests. Have you discovered anything new? Did it give us a guess on not being correct? The way it responded to the reagent doesn't leave much room for that. It's an eelworm. Pest that is not going to do us any favors. The chalky stone-like object that Lynn found was one of its eggs. So things are just as you assumed they were, Edgith. There is, however, one issue I still struggle to comprehend. As parasites, eelworms require a host plant to feed on. The mud plots were only created recently. Just why were there eggs of such a vermin lurking in the area? According to the Shardian records Sani looked at, eelworm eggs enter a state of dormancy within their mother's corpse, allowing them to survive for over a decade. They're more than capable of waiting for as long as is necessary for new grubs to show up. Blasted records also claim that they'd all been exterminated. The Shardians have a funny definition of the word, or we were unlucky enough to pick an area that was a home to an eelworm corpse or two. The eggs inside which hatched and infested the mudplots. Most unfortunate indeed, I must say though. I have been remarkably impressed by the tremendous growth you have shown, Edgith. You have come a long way, both as a person and a botanist. I have no idea what you're talking about, after all. It was Lynn that found the eelworm eggs in the first place, and I still haven't come up with a solution to this pest problem. Reckons weren't much use regarding that either, though. Either, whatever. Although you'd think they must have had some way of ridding themselves of the vermin if they were happy considering them exterminated. Well then, I suppose it's time I pulled my weight as well. I should look into a past case of eelworm infection and try to formulate a suitable plan of action. I'll keep looking through the Shardian records to see if I can find a solution as well. Suppose I'll give you a hand with that. I may not know much about plants, but my eyes work well enough. My apologies then, but you will need to be patient for a little while as we search for a permanent solution to this conundrum. Edgith will let you know once we are ready to put an end to this pest once and for all. Yes. Angry. You see, I grab my gun, shove it in the ground. And I've learned a bountiful harvest too. Then we've done it. We found a solution to our pest problem at last. I was just about to make my way to the guild to talk with Fusha. It's only right that you should join us to see the culmination of everyone's hard work. Well, if it is also still at 8 AM, then I think I should be good to get the item. Run, bitch! Run! For the plants! Hello. Oh, Lynn, good to see you made it. I was worried you might miss out on the best part. I see everyone is present and accounted for. Let us begin. Sounds like my cue. Edgith and I managed to find a solution. Two, actually, to this eelworm infestation. We can choose to put our faith in either alchemy or... What was it called again? Oh yes, companion planting. While alchemy is the most potent of the two, it does have its downsides. For one, it has equally potent side effects, and if any concoction we use happens to shatter further than we planted, it could wreak all manner of havoc on the environment. In which case, the only option realistically available to us is to make use of a blend of the two. I know enough about botanic alchemy to cover that aspect, but companion planting may prove somewhat difficult to utilize. I don't want to make a fool of myself, but could someone explain to me what companion planting is exactly? Simply put, it is the process of planting different crops in close proximity, so that they may mutually benefit one another. These benefits vary from stimulating the growth of neighboring crops to increasing yields. Oh, and perhaps most interestingly, it can also help prevent pest damage. In the case of the eelworm infestation, a flowering plant called a Rolger Streak is said to be effective. However, sadly for us, there are none left in St. Machian's Arboretum. I can say with confidence that we have never had any at the guild either. However, I do have an idea as to where they may be found. The flower owes its name to Rolgar, the guardian deity of Alamigo. I dare say you stand a good chance of finding it in Girabania, where faith in the destroyer has ever been strong. Stands to reason that the flower would grow in the area. And that's where you come in, Lynn. Do you reckon you'd be up to traveling to Girabania and tracking down this elusive plant on our behalf? After all that we've been through together, I have a man to accompany you, Lynn. It's the least I can do. Don't be getting ahead of yourself now, young lady. Fighting may have died down, but there's no guarantee that Girabania is safe enough for civilians to be wandering around searching for flowers. Lynn may be able to look after herself, but Lynn may be able to look after herself just fine, but you're a different story. It would only get in the way. Say what you want, it's my duty to accompany Lynn. This is the final obstacle standing in our way, and I can't very well leave her to tackle it alone. Final call is yours, Lynn, but in my mind, such passion ought not to be hindered. Yes. Thank you so much, Lynn. This time I promise you will have no cause to regret allowing me to accompany you. I'll go on ahead and begin asking people about the flowers thereabouts. I shall take the precaution of informing the Order of the Twin Adder of your visit. Best of luck to you both. Do look after her, Lynn. Head gives like a little sister I never had. Doesn't bear thinking about what I'd do if something happened to her. Castrum Occidens, son of a bitch. Give me a drink. Somebody beep 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 beep. Then I was wondering when you'd get here. The Alamagan Twin Adder officer gave me the most scrumptious morsel of information. He claimed to have heard of a plant used to prevent pests being grown in a village named Alagiri. I'm not the only one that thinks this sounds like exactly what we're searching for, am I? He followed this up by saying its surroundings are fraught with danger, and there's no place for little lady botanists to be poking around. Honestly, the cheek of the man. All his words have done is hardened my resolve. Come, Lynn, to Alagiri we go. There we go. Well, this seems to be the place. Let's try asking around about Rolgar's streak. Freaking dodo. I love this thing. Ah, yes, they were brought here from the locks for their pest-preventing qualities. No idea what was done with them after the vermin problem had been solved, mind you. You might have better luck asking someone else. Sorry, lass. Now that's a name I've not heard in a fair while. Memory's a bit foggy, but I'm pretty sure it was a wildflower found far out in the mountains. Who knows? Could still be a patch of them growing somewhere. Frank. Rolgar's streak. Stocked his stuff for a while, but then the area's pest problem got sorted out and nobody wanted it anymore. The smell wasn't for everyone, you see. Right, so from what we've heard, odds are that Rolgar's streak grows on a mountain somewhere in the locks, far away from any settlements. I'm going to head back to Idyllshire lest I risk truly getting in your way. I'll make sure to prepare the mud plots for your return. Assuming everything goes swimmingly, all you need to do is plant the flowers, and we'll be well on our way to a pest-free future. Well, I suppose you shall actually have to find the flower first. Although I don't imagine that will trouble you too much. If you can spot a tiny little eelworm egg, you can surely spot a flower. Right, to the locks. And let me go and also look this up. What is this thing called? Rolgar's streak. Rolgar's streak. Oh my god. Oh fucking. Okay, no, actually, this is really good. This is really good. 4 a.m. and 4 p.m. This sucks so much, man. Man, am I happy that I managed to keep going, that I didn't take a break in between any of this, really. Wow, that could have been real bad real quickly. Not real bad, it just would have made it so I had to like wait another 20 minutes. Which is pretty bad, in my humble opinion. I don't really enjoy doing that. I don't like waiting. Waiting is insufferable to me. I can't deal with that shit. Come on. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Give it a moment. It should be there in a second. It's probably in the top left somewhere. Yep, over here. Okay. It's kind of interesting that you cannot get like any of this information, so you just have to like sit here and fucking wait. It's just the way it goes, I guess. Hey, Luminaire, huh? What in the Chrono Trigger? Such a good game. Ah, I love that game. I love the ffXIV. Right. A 1. A 2. A 3. And I will abandon the rest because these items are most likely not worth anything, and I do not care to sell them. Especially not on Lynn, because I don't log in daily on Lynn most of the time, so I would have issues getting the lead on the market board. For the love of God! I don't keep getting stuck on those rocks. We should be able to find Roger's streak somewhere in the logs. It's time to put those eagle eyes to use once more. Also known as Roger's staff, this long-leafed medicinal herb is native to the highlands of Albania. Good old Albania. This is Roger's streak. It's beautiful. It's stunningly beautiful and yet beautifully stunning, all at the same time. Right, Edgith, that's enough excitement for now. Think calming thoughts. Sorry for that, Lynn. Everything's ready. All that remains is to plant the flowers. Yes. Do it! Do it! Nice. Phew, I knew planting flowers could be such tiring work. I have to say, even though you only planted them to get rid ourselves of the pests, they've done wonders for the mudplot's overall image. Haha, have that in your sight for sore eyes. This must not have bad either. Fantastic work, Lynn. Seems I was right to entrust the task to the guild's finest botanist. I honestly do not know if I could have done this without you, Lynn. I can't believe my eyes. That's a nice cutscene, wow. It's one surprise after another today. To think that any of the first batch of Popotas survived. These little guys are tough, that's for sure. I was absolutely positive they were all done for. Thank you for staying strong, little ones. We'll be alright from now on. I shall make sure of it. Whoa. Having seen how far you've come, I too have the utmost confidence in you, Edgith. However, allow me to give you a helping hand of sorts. Look how much she's enjoying herself. Oh, so precious. That's a little bit of a dumb looking outfit, but sure. I mean, the hat is pretty stupid. The rest is fine. But this garb is only given to the most accomplished of botanists. You may say I've grown of late, but I cannot bring myself to believe I am worthy of such an honor. Now, do not be so harsh on yourself. It is true that you have only made it but the first step on the long road to becoming a great botanist. However, it is precisely with that in mind that I saw fit to furnish you with this gift. Think of it as a sign of my steadfast belief in your future. A future which you are now more than strong enough to cultivate on your own. While Lynn and I will no longer be actively helping you, we shall certainly be keeping a watchful eye on your progress. I wish you the best of luck, first botanist of Idyllshire. First, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that to stop myself from fainting, but I promise you all I shall work in tandem with nature to carve Idyllshire's name firmly into botanic history, starting with these papotas. The fucking afro. Good lord. Yippee! What a nice quest. Even though it was tedious to do, but because the ending was very, very nice and the character progression. Good. And we get the same skill that we got on the other one. Anyway, my friends, that's gonna be it. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Little Dare Lunch, where we were playing Final Fantasy XIV, and next episode we are going to go and do the Fisher quests, which will be something. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, but with their Wawalago wonders. Anyway, adios.